Tomorrow is World Alzheimer's Day, and here to offer advice to families on how to cope with and interact with the loved one affected by the disease is Jeff Welsh, a cognitive support specialist from Detroit, Right at Home. Thank you, Jeff, so much for being here. First, tell us, what is Right at Home?
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, we're a national system of offices, franchised actually, of owners who work traditionally with elderly people in all of their needs as they age and desire to stay safely in their home, independent as possible.
So we're talking about Alzheimer's. Tomorrow's World Alzheimer's Day. How many people are affected by this disease?
Well, millions. You know, in the U.S. Right now, 2% going up from there. As the aging of America happens, the silver tsunami is coming at us. More and more people are being diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
And if you have a loved one, how can you tell, gee, this is Alzheimer's, or this is just sort of old, older age and, perhaps not being able to remember some things?
Well, that's a good question, and actually, I don't think it's really up to the family to decide that Alzheimer's is the issue. I think they need to see the doctor when they see certain things. And so we talk about memory loss. You and I might forget where our keys are, but we can find them because we could backtrack where we thought we might have been previously. Someone with Alzheimer's might not be able to do that. The same thing goes for finding places that you're familiar with, and maybe you can't find them any longer. You don't know where to go, or forgetting words and not being able to complete sentences. So those are signs that something is really wrong, and any one of those things among many others are reasons to go and see your doctor.
So it's not just breadth of forgetfulness or things, it's just the depths that you forget and you can't sort of work your way out of it?
You can't bring it back. You just don't know how to get from forgetting to remembering.
Now, if you have a family member who is dealing with and coping with Alzheimer's, what are some of the stresses on the family members? Because in terms of long-term care, that has to be a real issue.
Yes, they're tremendous stresses. Your personality changes that go along with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia are significant, and they change the way that we deal with each other. So if you're talking about a spouse, a husband and a wife, and perhaps the wife is showing signs of Alzheimer's, the way that you deal with that person changes dramatically. The things that you can do together are limited now, and the fears that you have about their safety, sometimes frustration because the relationship has changed so much. And the same kinds of things happen with other family members, grandchildren, for example, who are looking at grandfather and they don't understand why he isn't able to communicate the way he used to or play with them. So there are tremendous stresses, and they cause a lot of upheaval.
And finally, are there any ways or methods that we can actually sort of better cope with them and better interact with them?
Well, I think Right at Home on a national basis is introducing new methods, especially dementia and cognitive support services, that change the way that we deal with dementia in ways that are much more positive. So we're focusing on the ability of the person as opposed to the disability.
And the address and phone number right there on your screen, rightathome.net/Oakland-Macomb. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
In preparation for World Alzheimer's Day.